This video contains flashing lights and colors.
Last week, I visited the annual IAAPA Expo in Orlando, Florida. IAAPA, which stands for the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions, holds an annual trade show with vendors across the amusement industry showing off their latest and greatest innovations. This year, it was bigger and busier than ever, and I have quite a bit to talk about today. So for this video, I'll be listing every manufacturer's new ride-related reveals from this year's event from A to Z. And at the end of the video, you can vote for your favorite reveal via the poll link in the description. Before we get started though, I want to give a special shout out to Orlando Nuts. This dessert store was a short distance from where we were staying this year. And if you're in the Orlando area, they have some excellent sweets to offer. They've got baklava, some absolutely delicious fruit-shaped desserts, and handmade, high-quality, and affordable Dubai chocolate bars. They also serve other desserts like kunafa and plenty of Turkish delights. Just look at all of the flavors they have. And on top of all of that, the service was excellent. If you're looking to check them out, you can find them at 11977 South Apopka Vineland Road in Orlando, Florida. Tell them Theme Park Crazy sent you, and I'll link their social media accounts in the description. With that all being said, let's get into IAAPA 2025. Let's kick things off with Altitude Rides and Attractions. On the trade floor, they showed off their new Rock On ride. First introduced as a concept last year, this attraction is completely people-powered. As the promotional flyer states, there are no motors, no gearboxes, no pneumatics, no hydraulics, and no electronics of any kind. Riders simply use their own momentum by shifting their weight forwards and backwards like a classic playground swing. The goal is to rock the vehicle higher and higher until you make it up and over the top. Altitude calls it a combo of timing, coordination, and practice, and that really sums up the appeal. It's simple, mechanical fun that rewards skill, and while I didn't see anyone go over the top of the trade show, it sounds like a pretty awesome accomplishment. Altitude is marketing this ride as a low-maintenance, low-tech attraction with high re-rideability potential. Its lack of complex technology and electronics undoubtedly makes it more affordable, and small parks looking for an interactive, exciting attraction will no doubt take interest in it. Next up is Swiss manufacturer B&M, or Bolliger & Mabillard. Hang on one moment.
And I just found out today it's actually pronounced Bolliger and Mabillard. You don't pronounce the D at the end.
They showed off the front car for Tormenta Rampaging Run at Six Flags Over Texas. I gotta tell you, so many people in my life are excited to see this. I've even had family members and people I haven't spoken to in years express their fascination with this ride to me. This dive coaster is unquestionably one of the most anticipated thrill rides for 2026. More specifically, it's a wide-style dive coaster which has an enormous track and is capable of seating 8 guests per row. It will be the first coaster of this configuration since Yukon Striker opened in 2019 at Canada's Wonderland. Tormenta is themed to a Spanish village called Rancho de la Tormenta. Tormenta, by the way, means storm in Spanish. The story centers on the annual running of the bulls in the village. On this ride, guests try to outrun the village's beloved but fierce bull named Tormenta. B&M leaned heavily into the bullfighting theme with the train and track colors, and each one has a purpose. The white bodywork with red harnesses represents traditional runner attire with white clothing and red bandanas and sashes. Meanwhile, the brown track symbolizes the bull itself, the ivory rails represent the horns, and the gray supports stand in for the streets of the village. It is certainly a stunning color scheme, but this coaster will be more than just looks. In fact, Tormenta is set to break a long list of world records upon its opening. More specifically, it will hold these records: the world's tallest vertical loop, the world's tallest Immelman, the world's fastest dive coaster, the world's longest dive coaster, the world's tallest beyond vertical drop, which is 95 degrees by the way, and it will be the world's tallest dive coaster, standing at a structural height of 309 feet. That's taller than the Statue of Liberty. This project is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious additions in the park's history. Moving on, we have Taiwanese manufacturer Brogent Technologies, a company best known for creating flying theaters. This year, they introduced what some consider to be one of the most technically ambitious simulator concepts of all time. This ride, called the V-Ride Explorer Plus, was previously announced at the IAAPA Europe Expo along with its scale model, but I just have to discuss it here, because this is one of the most impressive physical mock-ups I have ever seen in my 8 years of attending IAAPA. The V-Ride Explorer Plus is a simulator attraction housed inside a circular room. Multiple ride vehicles sit inside the perimeter, and each one is mounted onto its own motion platform. Every vehicle offers 4 degrees of freedom. These include heave, pitch, roll, and yaw. As the Dark Ride database elaborated in their article, the yaw feature is capable of a full 360-degree sideways rotation. Because of this, the room uses a complete panoramic projection surface, providing much more immersion than older simulator technology like the system used on Minion Mayhem. Even better, this ride system is capable of more than just screens, as Brogent actually offers practical sets. On the scale model, part of the screen is able to lift out of the way to show a treasure room. Each vehicle seats up to 12 riders, and Brogent has 2 standard system sizes. A 5-vehicle version can seat 60 riders, and a 10-vehicle version doubles that capacity to 120 riders. Brogent summarized the experience as a next-generation motion ride designed for high-intensity storytelling. The ride's modular design allows each vehicle to operate independently, giving operators more flexibility in both layout and show programming. Indeed, the V-Ride Explorer Plus is absolutely a thrill ride to look out for. In addition, Brogent announced the addition of their first flying theater attraction in South America. This ride will be built at Brazil's upcoming Cacau Park, which is a chocolate-themed amusement park set to debut in 2027. The Flying Theater project is still under development, but officials tease that it will feature guests flying over all of the raw materials needed to make chocolate. From the dairy cows to the sugarcane, guests will soar through the chocolate-making process. They added that the attraction will feature pumped-in scents, like the smell of strawberries, according to Blue Loop. As a chocolate lover myself, I have to say that this sounds like one hell of a scrumptious attraction. It could very well be the most decadent flying theater ever built. Next on the list is Kansas-based manufacturer Chance Rides, and this was one of the most unexpected highlights of the entire expo. Instead of showing off a new thrill ride, Chance focused on something much more practical that could have a huge impact on parks in the coming years. Chance unveiled a pair of fully electric solar-powered vehicles. These include a guest tram and a brand new utility tram designed for park operations. Chance representatives described this project as a major engineering challenge that took a tremendous amount of work to pull off. They also said that they were extremely proud of what they were able to accomplish and excited about the future potential of solar-powered fleet vehicles. Both versions come with built-in solar charging systems. On sunny days, the vehicles can store enough energy to continue operating after dark. Of course, for cloudy days, a standard electrical charger is included, but the idea is to reduce grid reliance as much as possible. Both trams are designed for efficiency and all-weather reliability. They're engineered for tough terrain and can handle grades of up to 14% at full capacity. As if that wasn't awesome enough, Chance built it to function in extreme cold and temperatures as low as 5 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 15 degrees Celsius. Maneuverability is another strong point, with a tight 15-foot turning radius that makes them ideal for narrow pathways and service roads. Multiple model configurations are available so that parks can choose the setup that fits their needs. Sure, this reveal may not be a thrill ride, but it could have a significant long-term impact on the amusement industry. You gotta give them credit for this. Next up is Turkish manufacturer DOF Robotics, who is best known for their virtual reality attractions. This year, however, they arrived at IAAPA with a clear goal. They said that they wanted to break the stigma of only being seen as a VR company. To do that, they unveiled a brand new dark ride concept simply titled Dark Ride. This ride represents a major leap forward from the company into physical attractions. The new trackless vehicle they unveiled can rotate a complete 360 degrees. It rides on a motion platform that provides 3 degrees of movement. Each vehicle can seat up to 8 riders, and the one on the trade floor had a sleek steampunk design. The vehicle included an interactive shooting system as well, showing the potential for a video game experience on the ride. DOF elaborated that the vehicle is highly customizable and there are endless options for parks to choose from. DOF's website further spills the tea on this attraction. They touted its advanced motion simulation as well as its ability to have synchronized effects, and high-resolution 3D or 4D visuals. The ride can include water sprays, blowing air, fog, snow effects, and on-platform surround sound. In addition to the new dark ride, DOF also announced plans to expand into the family entertainment center market. Finally, DOF brought a second major attraction to the expo. This was a fully immersive motion simulator called Mars Odyssey. Yes, a full-out motion simulator on the trade floor. This is one of their immersive tunnel rides with a 270-degree projection screen and a range of environmental effects. We got a chance to ride this attraction, and we were impressed by the vibration effects on the ride. The story takes place on a colonized Mars in the future, with guests encountering hazards, storms, and high-speed sequences. Now, the ride film did end abruptly, but this was on purpose because the complete version will debut at an unspecified location in Ottawa, Canada. I want to bring up the small mock-up DOF had of the attraction. This was an extremely detailed miniature model, and it was very entertaining to watch. Being able to see how the ride operated in a miniature form really gave you a sense of how it worked. You may say, what is this, a motion simulator for ants? But I thought it was pretty damn cool. Through their booth, DOF showed that they are truly serious about broadening their catalog beyond VR. I'll definitely be watching their future developments. Next on the list is dark ride manufacturer DOF Ride Systems. At IAAPA, they went into more detail about their new collaboration with Swiss manufacturer Intamin. DOF officially became associated with Intamin last year, though it still remains an independently managed organization. With both companies now connected, their powers have combined to create a brand new attraction type called the Multi-Dimension Mover. According to Intamin, the Multi-Dimension Mover combines DOF's trackless dynamic mover platform with Intamin's experience in high-speed thrill rides. The result is a hybrid dark ride vehicle that mixes in elements of a roller coaster, helping it stand out from other trackless systems. Perhaps most notably, this new ride can include launches of up to 22 miles per hour. Now, this is about 7 times faster than a standard trackless dark ride vehicle, so it's a pretty big step forward. Intamin also touted the multi-dimension elements, the omnidirectional chassis movement, the optional tilt and roll, and the option to add blasters and targets for games. The vehicle's capabilities create a dark ride experience that is far more dynamic than a standard trackless attraction. Riders spin, drift, launch, tilt, and rotate independently. And the best part, the movement can change instantly to match the story, giving designers a much wider creative range. Based on what was announced, the Multi-Dimension Mover is a major evolution for the trackless dark ride system, taking the concept from War Turtle to Blastoise. Now we've come to Italian manufacturer Fabbri Group, who brought one of the most striking scale flat ride models to the entire IAAPA show floor. The company showcased a physical model of Icarus, a tower ride concept they originally announced in 2019. This was the first time that the industry has been able to see the attraction in any kind of physical form. For me and many others, it immediately stood out due to its unusual shape. This 131-foot tall tower ride features 2 large wing-shaped seating units, which is where it got its name from. These wings are mounted on opposite sides of a center ring. Each wing contains 8 seats, and guests sit facing outward with their legs dangling freely. According to Fabbri, the ride's movement pattern is what makes Icarus so unique. As the gondola ring ascends and descends the tower, the wings perform 2 separate types of rotation. They revolve around the tower itself while climbing it vertically, and they also flip a full 360 degrees on their horizontal axes, taking riders upside down. These 2 rotations can operate together to create an absolutely bonkers double spinning effect. The footprint is relatively compact and available in both portable and permanent versions. Many attendees agreed that Icarus stood out as one of the most visually memorable prototypes shown on the IAAPA show floor. Hopefully, we'll get to see a full-scale model. Now we have the most unexpected display from Florida-based manufacturer Galaxy Multi-Rides, their first feature in one of my IAAPA videos. Now, this company specializes in both inflatable parks and mechanical bulls. They had a massive miniature model of an inflatable park on display, and I just realized the phrase massive miniature model is an oxymoron, but it's an awesome one. Believe it or not though, this company actually had a ride make this list. At least I consider it to be a ride. I mentioned that they manufacture mechanical bulls, but get this, they now sell a mechanical rodeo pickle. Yes, a pickle. Originally custom built for the 2025 Picklesburg Festival in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, this attraction is now being sold as an official product. Just look at the colors, bumps, and intricate detail of this sizable pickle. Many Pittsburgh locals have already given it a ride, and don't be surprised if you see one open up at some kind of eccentric burger restaurant near you. On a side note, I made a suggestion to Galaxy Multi-Ride officials during the event. I suggested that they could take this ride and turn the pickle red to represent a chamoy pickle. Now that would be one hell of a viral sensation. Up next, Ohio-based manufacturer Gravity Group had a new style of train on display. While previous years featured elaborate and charming designs for their classic Timberliner train, this year's design was simple yet stunning. A wooden coaster train themed to wood. There was something about the shiny surface and the detailed wood grain pattern that was just mesmerizing to look at. But that wasn't all the company showed off. They also had a unique lighting mechanism on display courtesy of a third-party collaboration. This system uses an electroluminescent coating called Lumilor, which allows the painted surface of the Timberliner to actually light up. According to an article on tdcustoms.com, which I will link below, Lumilor is made of several ultra-thin paint layers that work together to create an electrical glow. There are 2 conductive layers with insulating material and a special phosphor layer in between. When an alternating current is applied, the electrical field excites the phosphor, causing it to emit light. Even though it looks like normal paint, the coating becomes a functioning light source when powered on. The result is a glowing graphic that can be switched on or off, and it gives Gravity Group the ability to create illuminated designs directly on the body of the train. It is a very unusual effect for a wooden coaster train, and seeing it up close made it clear how impressive this technology can look at night. Now admittedly, this lighting didn't show up well on the brightly lit trade floor and is meant to be shown off at night, but officials were kind enough to provide a black tarp on standby so I could get a peek of it on camera. Yet another fascinating coaster innovation. Over at the Intamin booth, there were constant crowds thanks to one of the most stunning ride reveals of the entire expo. This was for the upcoming Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift at California's Universal Studios Hollywood. More specifically, Intamin brought the attraction's front car to the IAAPA show floor. This vehicle is themed to the classic black Dodge Charger driven by Vin Diesel's character Dominic Toretto in the movies. To be honest, the level of detail on this display car was unquestionably incredible. Astonishing, even. The chrome bumper, the hood scoop, the headlights, and the glossy paint all made it look like an actual car parked in the middle of the trade floor. It was like you could drive it straight out of the booth. Each seat also has a pair of speakers for onboard audio. Going further, this coaster will feature 360-degree spinning on the cars. This spinning is a core part of the experience, designed to simulate the high-speed drifting in the film franchise. The ride is set to hit a top speed of 72 miles per hour, and it will include multiple inversions along the course. Paired with the spinning, this should create one of the most balls-to-the-wall coaster experiences Universal has ever built. Up next is Chinese manufacturer Jinma Rides. Once again, they've brought something new to the trade floor. On display was an updated version of their suspended coaster train, and the front car was on full display. The design was themed to a sleek mechanical bird, complete with a sculpted beak and aerodynamic detailing on the nose. What made the vehicle particularly interesting was its construction. Jinma representatives explained that the chassis and many major components used a bolted assembly method instead of traditional welding. According to the company, this provides several advantages. It simplifies maintenance, reduces long-term fatigue issues, and eliminates the need for regular non-destructive testing that welded joints often require. They also said that the new assembly method improves performance and offers greater durability over the lifetime of the ride. I could definitely tell that Jinma representatives were proud of this design. Next up, we're going to talk about a press conference by Legoland and Merlin Entertainment. Merlin, who owns and operates Legoland, announced a brand new attraction coming to both Legoland Florida and Legoland California in early 2026. This ride is called the Galactic Coaster, and it will be the world's first space-themed indoor roller coaster for the Legoland brand. Now, this coaster is suitable for families, but the big twist is its level of customization. Before boarding, guests can design the look of their coaster vehicle. They choose the wings, nose, tail, color, and other decorative elements, and there are about 625 possible combinations. Once a rider scans their RFID tag, the system takes that digital spaceship design and overlays it onto the real coaster train. The way it does this is, as the train dispatches, a screen at the launch bay shows the exact spacecraft everyone built. This creates the illusion that guests are actually riding in the vehicle they designed. In a way, it's kind of like Test Track 2.0, but much more colorful and interesting. Plus, did Test Track 2.0 have burger wings? I think not. The ride will reach speeds of about 40 miles per hour, and is overall a 10 to 15 minute experience when you factor in the pre-show and customization phases. Legoland also confirmed that guests will be able to purchase digital keepsakes of their customized vehicles. And they hinted that special seasonal parts or limited time pieces may be added in the future. Both California and Florida will receive this attraction, and Legoland California will open an entirely new land around it named Lego Galaxy, which will have other attractions as well. Galactic Coaster is a major project for Merlin Entertainment, who said it represents the largest single investment ever made to their Legoland parks. Now that is a big deal. If you love the LEGO brand, this is one coaster you've got to check out in 2026. Next up is German manufacturer Mack Rides, who held the very first press conference of the entire expo. Unfortunately, due to the traffic getting into the parking lot being an absolute zoo, I missed the live unveiling by a couple of minutes. Now this would have been a major FOMO overdrive, but thankfully, Liam of Immelman Images Media allowed me to use his footage for this video. Huge thanks to him, and I will link his site in the description. This press conference revealed the ride vehicle for Night Flight Expedition, the massive new attraction coming to Tennessee's Dollywood in 2026. Dollywood and Mack Rides are already calling it the most ambitious project in the park's history, with an investment of more than $50 million put into it. Yes, 50. This ride model is known as a rocking boat, which I've previously discussed in my Strange Water Rides video that you can also find in the description. On this ride model, the vehicles are custom amphibious crafts that run along a submerged track. For the Dollywood version, the theming will be absolutely S-tier. On the ride, there will be a plethora of lighting effects and projections, as well as onboard and offboard audio and thrilling set pieces. Dollywood's website goes in detail on the attraction. On Night Flight Expedition, guests take a nighttime flight over the Smoky Mountains, race down a Whitewater river with more than 500,000 gallons of moving water, and then glide across a glowing lake by boat, all in one attraction. This ride will be housed inside a 44,000 square foot climate-controlled facility, which means it can run in rain or shine. The story ties into the Wildwood Grove area of the park, revolving around twin scientists named Cora and Jasper Oakley. These characters guide guests on a mission to locate Secret Lake, which is the source of the bioluminescent energy that gives Wildwood Grove's tree its glowing canopy. The twins mount their invention, the bioilluminator, onto their amphibious aircraft, which is recreated as the real ride vehicle guests board. As seen on the trade floor, the ride vehicle is heavily detailed, and like Hollywood Drift's car, it too features speakers embedded into the seats for onboard audio. I don't think there's any denying that this is going to be one of the top rides in all of Dollywood. Night Flight Expedition opens in spring of 2026. Now speaking of German manufacturers, Maurer Rides had 2 new displays at their booth this year. The first was a new lighting package for their Spike-powered coaster. Now details about the system are still under wraps, but the model on display showed how the illumination can be integrated directly onto the track. It's easy to imagine this lighting being added to both new and existing Spike coaster installations, adding nighttime visibility and visual flair. The Spike coaster has been a major success story for Maurer. As Coasterpedia explains, these coasters are powered ride systems where each car contains its own motor. A toothed drive wheel engages with teeth built directly into the track, allowing riders to control the speed of the vehicle during the ride. Spike coasters have found their biggest home on cruise ships. 3 have already been installed on Carnival Cruise Line ships, and another one is coming to the new Disney Adventure cruise ship. Maurer also had a detailed scale model of the upcoming spike coaster named Sea Stallion at Six Flags Qiddiya in Saudi Arabia. The model showed off the track weaving through large rock formations with tunnels, caves, and carved-out sections of terrain. The rock work on this miniature display looked great, and it was a lot of fun to get close-up video and photos of the layout. You could really see how much emphasis the full ride will place on its scenery and environment. Plus, it interacts with a nearby flume ride, which was included in the miniature as well. Maurer really showed how versatile the spike coaster has become, and you can expect to see a lot more of these in the long term. Next up is Turkish manufacturer Polgun Waterparks, who unveiled one of the most visually stunning waterslide concepts of the entire expo. The company revealed a physical scale model of their new attraction called Savannah. This impressive slide complex is themed to an African elephant. Now, Polgun officials told me they wanted Savannah to pay tribute to the beauty and culture of African art. To make sure the theming was authentic, they conducted a pre-study on Kenyan artwork and incorporated the patterns, colors, and visual motifs directly into the slide's design. You can see that influence in the dot patterns, geometric shapes, and warm hand-painted textures seen throughout it. They also emphasized that the elephant is modeled specifically after an African elephant, and that they made sure not to get it mixed up with the Indian elephant. They told me they really wanted the details to be correct and respectful to African culture. The layout features two giant bowl elements housed inside the elephant's ears. Riders swirl around the bowls before dropping through the center vortex. Multiple slide paths weave around the structure, giving the attraction high re-rideability. Polgun explained that this slide is coming to an upcoming park in Uzbekistan. More specifically, it will be a major attraction in an all-new aqua park coming to the Wyndham Garden Charbagh Resort. So if you live in Uzbekistan, comment down below and tell me if you're excited to ride this. Now is one of my favorite booths to visit, Turkish manufacturer Polin Waterparks. At IAAPA, they unveiled two all-new water slide models. First, there was the Orbix. This dual-lane racing slide is notable for its tower and its enormous loop. Now don't worry, you don't actually go upside down on this loop, but you do rock back and forth. According to Polin, this slide is highly customizable, and you can select from different heights, lengths, colors, and theming options. Not to mention, there's the ability to add a stunning LED light package, turning this slide into a nighttime spectacle. The second slide that Polin revealed was the Zaya. This Latin American themed slide had a very fun announcement. Polin actually handed out little maracas to shake to the rhythm of the music. This multi-lane slide sees passengers pass through the open mouth of a mask, which is actually where the ride's name comes from. Guests pass under curtains of water, boomerang in the opposite direction, and can gaze upon its own stunning light package. Both of these slides show why I'm a regular visitor of Polin's booth. Excellent work. On the subject of water parks, next we come to Canadian manufacturer Proslide. This company introduced their all-new Power Rapids attraction, as well as revealing a miniature model of it. This is their latest take on a family rafting experience, with the biggest innovation being on the bottom of the slide. Power Rapids uses sculpted bumps on the flume's floor that create a chaotic, whitewater-style current. The model on display made this very easy to see. One of the sections even had a removable top, so attendees could look inside the tube and see the rapid-forming bumps in action. Proslide explained that the system works with both open and enclosed slides, so parks can mix and match them as they please. The model also featured the Hive element, the tight spiraling helix Proslide introduced at last year's IAAPA. All of these elements combine to create an attraction that's much more thrilling than a typical family raft ride. The first one of these slide models is set to open in just a few months at Vietnam's Aquatopia Water Park, and it wouldn't be a surprise if we saw more of these attractions globally. Next up is S&S Rides, the Swiss manufacturer behind the well-known rollerball coaster. This year, they revealed new details about their newest prototype being installed, the Wave Twist L. First announced a few years ago, the Wave Twist L is a flat ride that has a coaster-style movement with spinning gondolas. Guests ride in two large circular platforms, each with 10 seats. The platforms slide along an 85-meter wave-like track, rising and falling over the curves while the gondolas rotate on their own axis. The vehicle glides from one end of the track to the other, being completely powered along the way. The visuals in the flyer show how the gondolas tilt and pivot over the crests, giving a sensation similar to surfing rolling waves. RES confirmed that the first installation of Wave Twist L will open at Adventureland in East Farmingdale, Long Island, New York, making it a major new addition to the park. Next, we move to Rocky Mountain Construction, the Idaho-based coaster manufacturer best known for their hybrid coasters and single-rail Raptor coasters. At IAAPA, RMC announced a brand new custom Raptor coaster coming to Family Kingdom in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The Raptor has been one of the company's most successful coaster models of the past few years, with multiple installations offering fast pacing, sharp maneuvers, and signature single-rail airtime. Its arrival at Family Kingdom will mark the first major new coaster to open in South Carolina in decades, a huge milestone for the state. RMC also had something very different at their booth this year. Sitting front and center was a beautifully restored Jumping Jumbos ride. This classic attraction originally operated in Houston, Texas, and was built by Sellner Manufacturing. Now, Sellner was purchased by Larson in 2011, and when Larson merged with RMC in 2023, RMC inherited the ride. With all of this said, they decided to bring the ride back to life with a fresh metallic paint job, a brand new lighting package, and a new decorative topper. The result looked fantastic on the show floor and demonstrated RMC's willingness to preserve and update the classic ride. This particular Jumping Jumbos has been sold to Peachtree Rides, a showman based out of Atlanta, Georgia. It was a charming surprise at the RMC booth and a nice reminder of how diverse their catalog has become. Now for Utah-based manufacturer S&S Sansei. At their booth, they showcased their recently announced Rail Rider concept. This is S&S's entry into the single-rail coaster market. Though unlike the high-intensity Raptors and similar models, Rail Rider is aimed squarely at families. The minimum height is, get this, 39 inches, which is actually shorter than many Disney coasters. That alone makes this a very accessible design for parks looking to expand their family lineup. Now, what stood out most on the show floor was how narrow the track is. The main rail was so slim I could actually wrap my hand around it. The vehicle uses a straddle-style seat, which gives the ride a very open and breezy feel. It will give an experience much like sitting on a wave runner. S&S describes Rail Rider as the next generation of the classic steeplechase concept. According to their official statement, Rail Rider features rail-hugging vehicles and an open-seat design that is meant to provide a smooth and exciting experience for younger riders and their families. It could very well be a breakout attraction for S&S, and don't be surprised if you see one open at a park near you. And just when you thought things couldn't get crazier for S&S at IAAPA, they were able to announce an all-new roller coaster coming to Orlando, Florida's Mango's Tropical Cafe. This was going to be the site of the ill-fated Polar Coaster, but that's a story for another day. This new coaster is much, much more practical. This enormous green launched roller coaster is said by many to be a scaled-up version of Gale Force at New Jersey's Playland's Castaway Cove. The ride will feature multiple launches and inversions, all in a compact layout perfect for the middle of the city. This attraction will also come with a triple drop tower, adding even more thrill ride variety to this location. So if you're a regular visitor to Orlando, don't be surprised if you see these rides one day along International Drive. Next up is Florida-based Sally Dark Rides, who had two major reveals on the show floor this year. The first was a pair of brand new animatronics for the upcoming Phantom Theater opening night at Ohio's Kings Island. Set to open in 2026, this will be a reboot of the original Phantom Theater Dark Ride that ran from 1992 to 2002. This attraction took guests through a haunted abandoned theater. Two of the characters, which have been carried over to the new version, are No Legs Larry, the theater's ghostly usher, and Maestro, the mischievous pipe organist. On the trade floor, Sally unveiled a display with both figures interacting with each other. Each one is intricately sculpted and animated, fully showing off Sally's attention to detail. The new attraction will be reimagined as a variant of a shooting dark ride. The story will see guests aiming spellbound flashlights to capture escaped ghost notes and ensure that the night's performance goes off without a hitch. The new attraction will feature updated animatronics, projection mapping, a full cast of characters, and numerous Easter eggs. Already, there's quite a bit of anticipation from park fans, and I'm curious to see what the end result will be. Now, this wasn't the only thing that Sally revealed, because they also announced a brand new attraction for Doha Quest in Qatar. This ride is called Guardians of the Hidden Chamber, and it will be the world's first installation of Sally's new mini dark ride. As explained on Sally's website, this compact attraction is designed to fit into smaller footprints without sacrificing immersion. The ride uses trackless vehicles, physical sets, dynamic media, onboard lighting, and has a ride time of more than 4 minutes despite its small size. Sally actually had a working miniature model on the trade floor. Sally emphasized that despite the small size, the mini dark rides can still incorporate narrative, interactivity, and world building. With these new attractions, it's clear to see why Sally Dark Rides is a top company in the amusement industry. At the SBF Visa and Rides for You booth, there were a couple of memorable ride displays. First of all, there was Paul Bunyan's Log Haul, an all-new spinning family coaster coming to Enchanted Forest Water Safari in Old Forge, New York. The entire coaster was right there on the trade floor, and you could check it out if you wanted to. A more surreal exhibit was a carousel art piece display called Down the Rabbit Hole. This graffiti carousel design was made by Jordan Nickel, a Chicago-based graffiti artist. The carousel was manufactured by SBF Visa, and the artwork was done by Nickel. I can safely say this is one of the most unexpected reveals at IAAPA, but an awesome one to see nonetheless. Next, we head over to Ohio-based Skyline Attractions, and if you remember last year's show, designer Cole Gribble made a big splash at the Great Coasters International booth with his insanely detailed coaster cars. This year, he brought another one, and it was just as impressive. This new model he showed me is based on Voltron at Germany's Europa Park. It was one of those displays I was happy to come across, but it wasn't his only contribution to IAAPA, because he also worked with Skyline on an entirely new reveal. This year, Skyline premiered a concept video showing their Aurora track lighting package installed on their Trail Runner coaster. Cole helped with the editing process, and this exclusive video could only be seen on the trade floor at the time. For those unaware, Trail Runner is Skyline's weld-free single-rail coaster design meant for terrain-based layouts and family-friendly thrills. Because the track is assembled with bolted connections instead of welds, it's easier to fabricate, easier to ship, and easier to install in unique landscapes. It is a flexible system that parks can tuck into hillsides, forests, or natural topography. Aurora is the lighting package that Skyline developed to mount LED lighting directly onto the track itself with concealed wiring. It also has a special protective layer for easy cleaning. When utilized on the single-rail profile of the Trail Runner, the lights accent the curves like glowing trails. The video showcased nighttime shots of the illuminated track snaking through the terrain, and visually, it was gorgeous. There is quite a bit of potential here, and I'd love to see a Trail Runner open to the public. Next up is California-based manufacturer Subsea Systems, and their booth was insanely eye-catching. They actually brought a fully built aquatic-car to IAAPA along with an interactive bubble pulse gun setup. Both of these have been announced in previous years, but seeing them physically assembled and in person made a huge difference. The aquatic-car is a submersible ride vehicle that allows guests to travel underwater along a guided course. Riders remain inside an air bubble as they dive, creating the sensation of a fully submerged dark ride. The first aquatic car installation is opening at Aqua Arabia, part of the Qiddiya City project in Saudi Arabia. Now, if they could add horror elements to it, it would be one hell of a submechanophobic experience. Next to it was the Bubble Pulse Gun, which fires perfect O-shaped rings of air towards floating targets. They even had a water tank display to test it out. This is the first year Subsea has produced the guns themselves, rather than relying on a third-party manufacturer. That said, the big announcement from Subsea this year was their newest product, called Snorkel Drift. This attraction takes inspiration from cable tow wakeboard parks, but applies that same technology to an underwater setting. Guests wear full-face snorkel masks and take hold of a winged subaquatic board, which is gently towed through a guided course. The board responds to simple wrist movements, allowing riders to dive, ascend, and even twirl as they glide through the environments. Subsea described the sensation as flying underwater. Admittedly, I've never really discussed subsea systems in my previous IAAPA videos, but I'm sure glad I did this year, because these attractions look epic. Now it's time for Canadian manufacturer Triotech's booth. These reveals were insanely memorable. For the first time in their history, the company launched 3 brand new attraction concepts at once. As they explained, all 3 will debut together in Montreal in the summer of 2026. The first attraction is called Electric Fun Fair. This reinvents classic carnival games with dynamic digital theming. The entire environment can transform instantly using LED displays and Triotech software. As Triotech explained, operators can switch from a haunted fun fair to a sports night event or even a kids' carnival theme, all with the tap of a button, or button for those who really hate glottal stops, or glottal stops. The second attraction they announced is Energize, a multi-room interactive escape room-esque attraction with story-driven gameplay. Groups of 2 to 60 players progress through a series of themed game rooms filled with high-energy tasks and brain-teaser puzzles. Screens in each room deliver a narrative that evolves as players progress. It's also designed for replayability, with leaderboards, seasonal content, and multiple physical configurations to fit a variety of spaces. Third, and most notably, is Crazy Carts, and this one turned a lot of heads. Crazy Carts is an augmented indoor karting system that allows operators to build real kart tracks inside almost any building, even ones with supporting columns. Triotech uses dynamic mapping technology to turn the course into a living video game environment. As they explained, the course can come complete with projected obstacles, power-ups, themed worlds, and changing gameplay modes. This is easily the closest you can get to Mario Kart in real life. Now that's not to rag on the Universal attraction, but here you're driving a real kart at a real speed, but the world around you behaves like a video game. This concept is flat out wild, and it has the potential to revolutionize indoor go-karting. All 3 of these attractions will launch together in Montreal in 2026, with the exact location being revealed this coming spring. Heading across the floor, there was Dutch manufacturer Vekoma, who brought yet another eye-popping dark ride vehicle to the expo. This year, they revealed the ride car for SeaQuest Legends of the Deep, a brand new suspended dark ride opening at SeaWorld Orlando in 2026. This is the first suspended dark ride ever built by Vekoma, and it's always awesome to see a prototype concept up close in person. The design is themed to a futuristic undersea submersible. The suspended arm above allows the vehicle to swing freely, giving guests smooth motion and the ability to rotate towards whatever scene the attraction presents. The best way I can put it is that this sleek, submersible-inspired design looked like it came straight out of James Cameron's laboratory. SeaWorld described SeaQuest as a fully immersive deep-sea adventure. Guests will encounter glowing ecosystems and both extraordinary creatures and legendary sea life. Riders will board the submersibles and travel through richly themed underwater environments. Vekoma's official description highlights the capacity for storytelling through onboard audio as well as lighting and interactive features. The suspended ride system allows unlimited rotation, making it possible to direct every guest's view towards key parts of each scene. The vehicle supports riders as young as 3 years old, making the attraction accessible to most families. It's safe to say that SeaQuest looks like a major breakthrough attraction for both Vekoma and SeaWorld Orlando. Back at the waterslide section, Canadian manufacturer Whitewater delivered one of the biggest and most wide-ranging press conferences of the entire expo. Their presentation focused on the company's momentum, and they discussed major projects opening in 2026 and 2027. Looking ahead, Brazil's Termas dos Laranjais is completing a massive 32-meter tower with Blaster Fusion raft rides. Also, Norwegian Cruise Line's Great Stirrup Cay will soon open a new Great Tides water park, complete with a 52-meter tidal tower, a Rain Fortress 5, and a total of 19 slides. In the United States, Kalahari Resorts is working on 2 major attractions. The Wisconsin Dells location is undergoing an $85 million water park expansion. Now, we've discussed this last year, and it will include the world's first covered boomerango. Meanwhile, Kalahari, Virginia will bring the state's largest indoor water park to Spotsylvania County. Beyond water parks, Whitewater is also supporting Dollywood with an all-new composite ride vehicle set for Daredevil Falls. One of these vehicles was on display on the trade floor, and it looks as solid as the design always does. On top of this, Whitewater shared updates from Endless Surf as well, which is their next-generation surf lagoon. 5 new Endless Surf projects will open in 2026 across Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Mexico, and the United States. On the attractions side, Whitewater revealed Aqua Adrenaline, a free exploration aquatic obstacle course that introduces agility challenges over a pool, a nostalgic attraction for sure. They also previewed 2 major slide innovations, Nautilus, a seashell-shaped oscillating feature debuting in 2026, and Hurricane, a dramatic new element for 6-person rafts launching in 2027. In addition to the Daredevil Falls vehicle, their booth featured perhaps the most spectacular miniature at IAAPA this year. Their Tiki Tides water park concept model featured an enormous collection of slides, rockwork, palm trees, and an astonishing indoor section enclosed inside a glass dome. The whole thing was a microcosm of intertwined water attractions. It was packed with detail and easily one of the most photogenic displays of the entire expo. All of this said, Whitewater's presence at IAAPA made clear that they are pushing forward on all cylinders. Speaking of water slides, we have German manufacturer Wiegand, who announced an all-new slide coaster installation for yet another ship for Norwegian Cruise Line. As I discussed earlier this year, the Norwegian Aqua introduced the Aqua Slide Coaster. This attraction utilizes a catch car mechanism to launch riders into the course. The technology is similar to that used on roller coasters. The catch car sits on a coaster track with 2 arms placed behind the rafts. A magnetic launch system accelerates the catch car, sending riders forward at 30 miles per hour. The slide has been highly acclaimed, and as it turns out, another one will be built on the upcoming Norwegian Luna, set to launch in 2026. Now, this ship is extremely similar to the Aqua, as it's intended to be a sister ship. It's always good to see an ambitious attraction succeed, and you can look for more of these to be installed soon. Now, before we finish up with Zamperla, I want to take a few moments to highlight some noteworthy mentions. These are the booths that don't necessarily have to do with rides, but are still absolutely worth discussing. First of all, I want to discuss the second floor of the expo, which was outside of the trade floor. Here, there was the Haunting Grounds, which showcased several Halloween-based displays. From the moment you step into this area, you're greeted with a miniature haunted house with functioning animatronics. Further in, scenic design company Plague Productions showcased a beautiful dark-eyed facade that I just had to take photos at. This company specializes in building scenery and theming for haunts, and I honestly think they do a great job of theming a dark ride. Another memorable display was presented by Vancouver-based Tangible Interaction Design Incorporated. This experience, known as Graffiti Plus, allows guests to paint a 3D model and save the design to their phones. My friend and event specialist Moises had a blast painting this skull, and I have to say the result is pretty amazing. Hell, I'm gonna link a t-shirt with this design in the description. Use my code IAAPA2025 for a limited time 10% discount. Back on the trade floor, there was a pretty major reveal in the inflatables area. Yep, one of the most visually memorable segments of the IAAPA Expo every year is the inflatables section. This area is filled with bounce houses, inflatable obstacle courses, and more. I've always wanted to talk about this area, and now I'm getting the chance to. Because at the event, California-based Magic Jump Inflatables introduced the first ever licensed Sonic the Hedgehog inflatables. These new licensed inflatables include several bounce houses of differing sizes. But the biggest and most memorable one by far is the 50 obstacle course. This one was actually fully inflated on the trade floor. This inflatable was absolutely stunning, with plenty of characters represented and awesome details. You've got Shadow, Amy, Dr. Eggman, and even Metal Sonic. Of course, Sonic himself is front and center in fully inflated glory. Just imagine being a kid and going to a birthday party with one of these at it. This obstacle course ordinarily sells for around $6,900. Right now though, Magic Jump has a special deal on their website, and you can save almost $1,600 for a total price of around $5,300. A pretty good deal, especially with the rate of inflation these days. Sorry, not sorry. Next up is a fascinating display from technical service provider and IAAPA partner TÜV Nord. Here, they demonstrated a new use of AI technology for ride monitoring. This AI-supported real-time monitoring system uses sensors and AI algorithms to analyze vibrations, shocks, and movements. This was demonstrated on a custom Lego roller coaster on the trade floor. The middle of the train had a sensor, and as the vehicle navigated the course, it would transfer real-time data to a chart for analysis. A fascinating use of technology that's certainly worth noting, and it was a blast to see that train go over and over again. It was a greater example of how this technology can lead to a better understanding of ride breakdowns and ensure less downtime overall. Now we've come to an annual favorite, Froggy's Fog. You may recognize them from my past videos for their fog machines and unique collection of scents. And I gotta say, Moises is much braver than me. Check out this clip.
What's the ones that smell real bad then?
The worst two are right here: Slaughterhouse and Gag Reflex.
Oh, hell no.
That
hell
makes sense.
no.
That says gag reflex.
I have a fear of, oh God. Oh God, you're gonna actually smell gag reflex.
Oh yeah, that really makes me gag. Go.
Slaughterhouse.
I wonder if
That's
it's
probably,
like dead bodies.
yeah, it's probably dead bodies.
Oh yeah.
It's more like disgusting meatpacking facility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like,
If you want dead bodies, number 5 on my list is rotting decay.
it's that one.
I might as well just need a smell test.
We need a smell tester, oh God.
Ooh.
You ever heard of the Mexia supermarket in Texas?
I have not.
I just something fresh. Like
It's
Game
a
of Thrones.
famous, it's online. It's a famous incident where it was this Mexican supermarket that went out of business and they just left everything in there for months. It's a very disturbing story. Yeah. These scents are perfect for haunt mazes, family attractions, or grossing out your friends. This year, they had 2 new products on display. First, there was the Hyperion TJ10 Upshot Fog Machine. This machine can burst fog 50 feet in the air with awesome LED lighting effects. Yes, 50. I had to get pretty low to get the full burst in the shot, but it was worth it to show off how epic it looks. What's especially impressive is that it can do this without any CO2 canisters. You heard that right. This fog machine is perfect for any concert, theme park, or live event. Next, there was the Titan 1500 XT Fog Machine. This machine looks almost indistinguishable from the other fog machines on the table, but the big difference is in the interior. It is actually over-engineered to be more secure with better connection points. By the way, their fog is made in Nashville, Tennessee with medical-grade chemicals, so it didn't make us cough like other fog does. If you're looking for any kind of fog, Froggy's is a top-tier brand. Next up is an entry that was recommended by Mitchell, a representative from Froggy's Fog. This was a portable soft-serve ice cream brand called CVT. Yes, you heard that right, soft-serve in a pouch. This right here is a frozen squeeze pack of chocolate and vanilla twist soft serve that you thaw for a few minutes and eat straight out of the spout. They also have vanilla and chocolate flavors on their own. With this brand, there's no mess, no machine, no melted puddles, and absolutely no, sorry, the ice cream machine is down, vibes. In fact, the back of the packaging even jokes, this ice cream machine is never broken. Another edible convenience was shown off by AutoFry and MTI Products. On the trade floor, they showed off a deep fryer that doesn't need a fume hood. Now, fume hoods are expensive, but with the use of a charcoal filter, you don't need one for this deep fryer. This means that this deep fryer can be installed in locations that don't have fume hoods, so you can get the crispy golden brown goodness of deep fried foods at more locations. Let's be honest here, mozzarella sticks taste way better deep fried than in the oven. That's not knocking on ovens, I'm just saying. Next up is a company from Indiana called Winterland, and their booth made it feel like Christmas arrived way early. But the real stars of the booth were, get this, the Corn family. Yes, Winterland brought an entire lineup of corn-themed characters, and these characters had Indiana written all over them. There was a corn dad with a big mustache, a corn mom with a popcorn Marge Simpson hairdo, a corn brother, a corn sister, and even a corn dog. Pun intended. These designs were charming, bizarre, and somehow adorable all at once. Peak IAAPA energy. Next is Go Engineer, who partnered with Stratasys to bring what might be the most mind-blowing 3D printing display I've ever seen anywhere. This booth looked like a table full of random objects, but then you realize absolutely everything you're looking at was 3D printed. Just look at all of these hyper-realistic objects. I think they speak for themselves, but the two things that blew my mind the most were the whiskey bottle and the banana. The banana is incredible. Look at that.
Did you feel it?
Feel it? Oh my god, it feels like a real banana. No way. No friggin' way. One of the more creative notable mentions was this fun house by Funlandia. This soft play exhibit is like something you'd see at a Muppet Chuck E. Cheese. Actually, it looks like something you'd see in one of those mascot horror games in the best way. And yes, those are soft teeth moving up and down. Really cool. Now to wrap up the notable mentions, I want to spotlight two animatronic companies that absolutely impressed me this year. Granted, they weren't the only animatronic companies on display, and I didn't have time to take a look at all of them, but they still stood out to me. First is Chinese company Shigong Sanhe, a studio known for creature work. Their booth had some truly spectacular animatronics, but the real show stealers were the cute animatronics. One was a bright-eyed baby dragon with huge cartoonish eyes that kids could actually hop on and ride. Then there was the walking Stegosaurus. This little guy could walk, hop, wave its tiny arm, and move with the charming bounce that made it look alive. Watching it interact with guests reminded me how amazing animatronics are, and how the line between robotics and puppetry is often blurred. Shout out to Defunctland. Then there's Only Dinosaurs Incorporated, a company that originally operated out of China, but is now fully US-based with nationwide shipping and support. Their booth had some fantastic pieces on display too. One of their highlights was a mini animatronic deer, which was much like the Stegosaurus. This was also cute, and it was fluffy too. It could walk, hop, and wave at guests. Kids absolutely loved it, and so did the adults. They also had a velociraptor that immediately reminded me of Blue from Jurassic World. The sculpting, the skin texture, the coloration, and the way it moved all gave that screen-accurate feel. In the future, I'd love to discuss more animatronics from IAAPA, and next year, I'll hopefully have time to make a whole entire list. Unfortunately, I completely missed the pumpkin fighting for his life on the toilet, but hopefully they'll have it next year. This animatronic was made by 13th Floor, and thankfully, Carpetbagger got some footage of it. I actually met Carpetbagger on the show floor. He's an awesome guy. Go check out his content. I linked his channel and his IAAPA coverage in the description. Finally, by virtue of starting with the letter Z, is Italian manufacturer Zamperla, who had one of the most meaningful and innovative reveals of the entire expo. On the trade floor, they introduced Wings, the world's first wheelchair-accessible and fully interactive tower ride. This attraction was developed in collaboration with Morgan's Wonderland in San Antonio, Texas, which is the world's first ultra-accessible theme park. Wings features a front-mounted camera that tracks guests as they flap their arms. The ride's onboard computer translates that movement into lift, allowing guests to make their gondola rise by literally flapping like a bird. The vehicle can securely lock a standard manual wheelchair into place. This allows guests who use wheelchairs to experience the ride without transferring. Of course, there is a weight limit, and powered chairs are incompatible at the time being, but this is undeniably an excellent innovation. Zamperla also made a major coaster announcement. Their new Double Heart coaster model is officially headed to Lotte World Adventure Busan in South Korea. Here, it will open as Giant Revolution in 2026. Previously announced, the Double Heart is a compact, high-intensity launch coaster featuring 3 launches, one of which being backwards. Riders are yeeted over the tower structure, and the layout includes jubilant pops of airtime. It also has a twisting drop and 2 additional inversions. Despite its compact footprint, it's set to tower over the rest of the park's attractions. And of course, the trade floor had a scale model of the coaster that gave a good idea of what it will look like. Now, the third reveal was Red Tails, a reimagined version of the classic airplane ride. Instead of just rotating in a circle, each child can manually control their own aircraft. And oh crap, I just realized that I was so impressed with the wings design that I completely forgot to film the Red Tails. But thankfully, Zamperla has video of it on their YouTube channel. Suffice to say, Zamperla stole the show, and I look forward to seeing what else they have in the pipeline. Oh wow, that was a lot, and next year is set to be even bigger, 50% bigger actually. I'm both excited and terrified. But next November can't get here fast enough. I can't wait. Now before we conclude, I'm inviting you to vote on what your favorite booth from this video was. I'll have a section for the regular list and another for the notable mentions. I'll announce the winners in next year's IAAPA video, but for now, here are the winners from last year. Now it's time for the comment shoutout program. This is where I take 5 random comments from my previous video and read them out. These comments come from my video on Universal's worst attractions. Jack Bentley 2201 says, as an Englishman, I have never felt more out of place than on the Jimmy Fallon ride. Logan to Battle for Dream Island Fan Productions says, I find it surprising that the Rip Ride Rocket was number 7. It was a little odd, but I love roller coasters unless they are kiddie rides. I like this one due to the slow ascent up and the fact you pass through a few buildings. It's the only roller coaster that does those two stuff in the park. I'm sad to see it go, but I'm hoping the Ghostbusters ride is worth the loss of one of my favorite rides. John Garnett 1791 says, Simpson is terrible, blurry, and nauseating. Ray Beltane says, I actually love that they made the Cat in the Hat ride into a kind of dark, creepy hallucination where you don't even leave the sofa. And Indy Kuhn says, 1335, yes, I do not have a queasy stomach on rides at all, but I felt legitimately nauseous after riding Simpsons 3D. I'm not a Simpsons fan, but while I enjoyed the overall animations, story, yeah, the motion was absolutely terrible. If you want to see your words in my next video, leave a comment down below and it may be selected. Please note though that inflammatory or spam comments will not be read. Thank you all so much, and if you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so once again at the link in the description. Thanks for watching everyone. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, or you can check out my website at themeparkcrazy.com. And I'm on TikTok. This is Theme Park Crazy, and I'll see you all next time.